Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Freedom Algo. KP, good to see you, fam. Oh, cool, man. Cool. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you do have questions, go ahead and just ask me if I think you joined. I don't know if you joined my Discord or not, but if you go into the description of the video, you'll see a thing that says other links or something like that. And it has a link tree, and you can join my Discord for free in there. Just watch out for all the spammers and scammers who pretend to be me. But if you do join in there, you can obviously you'll be able to tell who the real me is. You can just click on my name in there and send me a message if you want, or you can just ask messages in the public channels. And so if you have any questions before you're joining, just let me know. John, good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm going to have to be brief today. I don't even have the music on. I'm just going to kind of run through, and that'll be it for this day, just because I have to take my son to an appointment, and I'm going to have to basically get my daughter to school, take my son to an appointment. It's like a whole thing. So anyway, pretty wild price action. A lot of volatility. This is a really weird looking day if you look at this, because you have a big down channel in the overnight. It tried to fill that price, right? This magenta color price here is all the way over here. It's where the price action closed last Friday when we had that crazy day. We haven't filled that gap yet. We almost came down and tapped it in the overnight. You can see there was a aggressive push down, failed, close outside, new low, and then it reversed. Now, I didn't draw it, but there's like a little up channel here. It's kind of like a spike in channel. And then this is what I came into this morning. We kind of had this move up, and there's not really any setups in here. I was thinking originally like a second entry long would be nice, but you didn't get one because you just had this big bearish bar. So the second entry triggers on an inside bar, and it makes a new high there and then just reverses. And so you just don't really get anything in there, unfortunately. There's just not really any great setups. So you kind of just have to wait. Now, there is a setup here because early this morning, this was looking like a bit of a range after the close outside here. And then you get this kind of like little down channel, close outside, new low, this failed breakout of this level, and then it kind of comes back in with an equal low. So you could treat that like a higher low after a failed breakout. We're expecting a new high. So that's a reasonable one. It ends up not happening. It ends up actually turning into a slight, kind of like a channel that continues. You don't know that yet because that's only the second swing of that level. And then when you get this third touch here, you kind of can tell that there's something happening there. Oh, yeah, you know what? I think I drew that kind of off. I think I meant to have this more like that. And then you kind of get a brief close outside new low. Sorry about that. All right. Anyway, you get the new low. Now you get a first entry, second entry short that fails. I was tempted to mark this failure here, but it's below the EMA where you would have to enter. It's just not worth it. It's too risky. And so anyway, it does go higher. And then basically you don't get any setups for a little while because you get this new high, close outside, makes another leg up. But, you kind of get all these sideways bars. Then it breaks down here, and there is a first entry, second entry long failure there, but you're not sure that there's going to be a failure there because we already got this little down channel, close outside, new low, so it's kind of risky. You don't know for sure that there's going to be a channel that plays out here. So if it does come down, there's a first entry, second entry short failure, but you're not looking for one there either. And we kind of just bounce off of no man's land. There's not really a level there. So you kind of just randomly bounce and go up, which is kind of wild. And originally I thought maybe this was going to be a range with the highs up here, but it ended up not playing out that way. It ended up turning into a big spike, a little channel. There's no real setups in here. You get a close outside, new high, and it just rejects so aggressively. Now, this is the best setups of the day. Some of the best setups of the day right here, because at this point now, you come all the way down, and you actually get a first entry right here, and then a pullback, second entry long, and this is a close outside, new low all at once on this channel. And it's kind of confirming an area of a possible channel, wide up channel here. So if you took that, it's pretty decent. If you wait for the higher low, that's a really nice one. I marked it green Usually I would mark this as a yellow because I think it did achieve a scalp already. If it achieves its scalp target, I usually won't. It's right on the cusp with how high the volatility was. So I think it's reasonable to take that because you still have room to that EMA from the highs of this candle. So I think it's reasonable. So then you have a first entry, second entry short failure, but you're not looking to take a failure right here. It goes sideways. And then not really anything in this. This is just all tight. Yeah, there's a first entry, second entry long, but you're not looking to take that. And this is the bar because this one actually doesn't tick lower. So you kind of just have to skip that. And then you have to watch this thing go all the way up. And what happens here is you go up, you get a sort of close outside new high. This is actually a second entry short. I didn't mark it. It's super risky to take this, right? There's reasons to like it because you are so far away from the EMA. It is a close outside of the channel, but you have this bullish momentum. It's kind of risky, in my opinion, to take this. It's an 11 tick bar. It looks small, but it's actually 11 ticks. I just don't think you want to take it, but there's some reasons to like shorting that, but I think it's dangerous. I think you really want a lower high there. All right, so it comes down, close outside, new low, and you get this bar, and then you actually do get a second entry long here. Now, this was probably one of the better trades of the day because you have this, you'd have made a new high here, but when you come down, you get the close outside, and then you get the second leg, and it makes this second entry long. I mean, it's a perfectly bullish bar. You could widen this channel very slightly, and it fits that swing really nice. You know, you can kind of fit through here, and through here. So it looks like this is going to be a channel in play. And then you even get a higher low. Now, the higher low, I marked it yellow because you have these two sideways bars, so it looks a little bit like congestion. And you've already achieved a scalp target there. So you're taking a chance there with the possible congestion and all that. Because if you took this trade, you would have already been out on your scalp here. So that's how that went. You don't get a runner because it fills you and then comes back. So unfortunately, no runner there, but nice, easy scalp for like 8 or 9 ticks, depending on how you played it. I was going for 9 ticks for most of the day. Some of the day I went for 8 ticks. Right now, it's recommended around 7 to 8. So it just depends on the ATR. Okay, so then that closeout, you get a close outside of this little mini channel, new high, reverses. I don't think you want to short though right here. I think you need to be patient. And then it reverses down and we sort of form this down channel. And basically you come all the way down. You get I think there's a second entry in there, right? Yeah, there's kind of like a first entry. This is kind of a second entry. You're not looking for one here yet. Makes a new low. Then it makes another new low and then kind of another one. But this is all sideways. You just got to wait. This comes up, makes a new high, and just reverses on a first entry. There's no setups in here. And then it just kind of reverses out the other side. So you get a... there's actually a failed second entry short right here. You actually have a new low, and you have a first entry, second entry short failure. But I don't think you want one there because this channel was still in play. It works. Then you get this. Now, this is like a visual second entry short. So I marked this because if you look at this like a double bottom, it's not actually a double bottom. But if you look at this like a double bottom, you can kind of look at this like a first entry, second entry short. And it engulfs this bar for the most part, equal high. It's a huge bar though. It's 30 ticks. I mean, that's dangerous. It doesn't trigger here on this. I marked it as a yellow if you took this on the engulfing bar. It's not a true engulfing bar though, because it didn't tick higher. So it's super sketch there. And I just wanted to call it out because some people probably would play that. Now, I marked it on here, but I'm going to actually remove it because I wanted to just kind of talk about it. Because really, when you take an engulfing bar, you want this to tick higher and actually engulf the whole bar, and it didn't there. So it's sort of dangerous to do that, and I think you're playing with fire to mess with that. You don't know for sure that it's going to close bearish like that, and then this bar wouldn't trigger you on the order because you have to go short 1 tick below this if you wait for it to close. So it's really not a true setup, but I just marked it just to talk about that. I should have used a blue arrow. I'm sorry about that. All right, then you get a first entry, second entry long failure, but you're not really looking for a failure here. This just is a close outside new low, and then one more attempt lower, and then it reverses. So then you get a first entry, second entry short failure. Now this is one where you'd expect a failure because now this is played out and we still need a new high on this up channel from earlier. So this is where you might expect a failure because you get the first entry, second entry short, it fails. I don't know that you really have that much room here to the high though. That's the only problem. Yeah, you don't have that much room, but you're probably going to get it. So I marked it, but it's not perfect. And then you come up, you reverse, you get this lower high, no setup there, comes down, and now it's kind of bearish on you. So there's some sort of bearish momentum here. We're coming down to these previous zones. I'd say we're probably going to come to one of these levels here, most likely. And we have this move all the way down here. I don't know if we're coming all the way down there, but anything's possible on a day like today. And now, let's see what we got now. We kind of have it looks like I would start with the short channel here, short-term channel, close outside, new high. Now, you don't know for sure if you're not going to form some sort of flatter channel up, right? We don't know yet. We don't have enough price action yet. But it is possible that we form something like this. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen here, but it's possible, right? We got to wait and see. If it doesn't, and it goes lower, then there's probably some sort of more bearish structure here. The only problem is like these highs are pretty close to each other. So you could treat this like close outside new low, and this is just a channel of its own. In which case you would draw from up here, but see how it's just not fitting? Nothing's really fitting there. Unless we're getting some sort of super wide channel that looks like this, which we very well could be. This very well could be like a super wide channel, right? Something like that. And we just don't have a confirmed swing on this side yet. But it could be the case because we are going lower. Either way, you got to be careful here. We can draw that, but we can't, we can't put all of our weight into that yet. We have to wait and see what it does. So that's basically the day. Not the easiest price action day, but there's some good setups that you could have got. Volatility is high, so you get some pretty nice wins on these. Does look like we have a first entry, second entry short, and this is a lower high. It's already moved too far to probably take that, but it does look like it's there. This is a possible short right here, but I don't think it's super safe with just where it is. Like you're shorting right on the EMA. This lower high does look tempting, but again, I don't think it's ideal. So it's a tougher day. Some people probably took this second entry short. It's not wrong. It's just that it's not ideal. Like we can mark it, but it's just not a perfect setup. It's pretty much you're shorting right into the EMA. Now it is a first entry, second entry short, and this does look like two legs to me. We are kind of mostly bearish here. But we have achieved the new lows, so it's kind of like maybe we're going to come down to these levels. But we don't know. And that's basically how I saw it today. Any questions in here? If you got them, throw them in right now because I got to run. So I know this is a short. This is going to be a short and quick stream, but that's just what it is today. That's just what it is. If not, just message me in Discord because I'm going to wrap up here. We are getting a failure there. You can kind of see this. We are getting a failed second entry long right now. That looks like a failure forming, possibly. It doesn't really look like it's going to be inside the channel, but it looks like a first entry, second entry long that's probably going to fail. So let's watch this. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Still could happen. Let's just give it a second here. We would need this to probably tick higher and give a bearish bar if it's going to be a good setup. Looks like first entry, second entry long. So let's see if this fails now. Big bearish bar forming possibly. It's not that bearish. It's pretty neutral. So we'll see. We'll see. 8:30 and 40 seconds. Yeah, that's just right. Yeah, that's just because it's because technically it's a second entry short below this candle, right? Because once it breaks below that level, it's a second entry short. But because you get an equal high here, you could it's basically, how do I say this? Like, technically, yes, the second entry short is below this candle. But because you get an equal high there, you can look at this as your swing high in the move. So you could look at this like a second entry short. You could also look at this red candle as a lower high because it's an equal high where the second entry short happens. So you could look at this like a first entry, second entry short, and a lower high all at once. So does that make sense? And there it was. Sorry, I got busy talking, but there is the failure that I just called for. So that's the failure I was just talking about. And that is where you pretty much expect a failure. That's a failed second entry long right there. Because you were expecting a new low on this down channel, you're expecting it to go down here. We're bearish overall. It's below the EMA, bearish bar. Everyone's stop losses are down here. And see what it does? It hits them and just smacks straight through. Those are nice ones when you get those. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, the indicator, the second entry leg counter indicator, what it will do, it'll have a hard time with stuff like that because technically it is a second entry on this green bar, one tick below it. But because you get the equal high, like, that's just something that we have to know. That's the nuance that we need to understand. All right, I'm going to wrap up here, everybody. I got to run. I appreciate you all. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope you had an amazing week. And if you got any more questions, just hop in my Discord and ask me there. And I will see you all soon. Take care, everybody.